And bam, welcome back to Nando Talk. We are live, we are running, and I know I said the schedule for today, Wednesday, is 1:30 to 2:30, and I apologize. I was running a little late, fumigator and whatnot, and I'm doing a little iOS update, trying to get this new continuity so we can finally improve this webcam. Yes, I'll be able to run the webcam off of my phone, hook it up there, put the laptop down so I can write notes. Unfortunately, I forgot how long iOS updates do take since it's been a while on my iPhone 10. So we're still loading it up. We're good to go though. So the notes are locked right now. So right now we're going to have to go off the dome. It's all good. We'll start with some pressing news because, like I said, my phone is a little bit out of commission right now. Thankfully, I didn't update my laptop before, because that would have been bad. But for those tuning in, thank you. Let's dive into some Dolphins talk. We've had a crazy Sunday night football win, albeit not the best game, not the greatest game, honestly. But at the end of the day, win is a win, in my opinion. You might not like that mentality. To further clarify on what a win is a win truly means, I'm happy that we won. Yes, I want to see us improve. Yes, I believe we can improve and can get better. But as for right now, I'll take a win. I'll be happy with that. Any given Sunday, no football game is guaranteed. No win is promised. We've seen what happens, especially when our quarterback goes down mid-game, beginning of the game, whatever it may be. The QB carousel finally ended, and we finally got a win. Can we say the if ends the game for everything? Of course, you can say if this happened, the Dolphins would have won. If that happened, the Dolphins would have lost. But we'll cement with reality. So a win is a win, means in reality, we won. Does that mean we can improve? Of course. Do I want us to improve? Yes, by all means. By all means, I do not want to see this as the finished product of this football team. I want to see us get better, stronger. Is it going to be a little tough now that we've taken injuries and now we have to see what the depth is made of, not face more adversity? Sure. But football is football. We didn't give anyone else any slack when they had injuries. No one will give us any when we have our injuries. That being said, Brandon Jones, one of my favorite Dolphins players. I'm sure we all love his heart, tenacity, young third-year safety out of Texas, finally coming into his own. I think he was popping off last year already. As a tackler, he's already been one of the most efficient safeties in the NFL. But finally, he was being more than just blitz boy Brandon Jones. He was all over the field, a true Swiss Army knife for us. And now he has torn his ACL. Originally headed to IR. Now it's probably season-ending IR instead of that 4-game IR. Brandon Jones will be greatly missed in the secondary, not only because of his hard-hitting presence, his ability to tackle, wrap up, and just wreak havoc in the backfield, but also this is a man who just gets after it, bro. Like, come on. Like, I think he had 42 tackles, a couple sacks, a couple of QB hits, some pass deflections already. Again, my notes are locked up right now. He had crazy snaps before the injury. I think he had 42 of the defensive snaps already. Well pacing. And after him, we truly don't have much safety depth. I get it, Javon Holland is the safety star, but losing Brandon Jones is still a significant blow. We saw that the next men up were Clayton Fagellum, who Clayton, I like you as a special teamer, and that even then sometimes there's a little head scratchers, but as my starting safety, well, at least he knows the playbook is all I'm going to say, positive Nando. Rowan McKinley, I would love to see him start to get more reps, start seeing what we have there. There is that already. What appeals to me is the innate chemistry that Javon Holland and Rowan McKinley can already reacquire. They play together at Oregon. They're buddies. They know how to play together on the field with actual reps, not just practice reps, actual game reps. Granted, that's in college. This is the NFL now, but still reps are reps, and I'll take that familiarity, that comfort. So how can we continue to improve? What can we continue to do to get better? Dang, I'm not too sure how we're just going to magically heal players overnight. The secondary issue is going to be a bit troublesome. Again, Fagellum is a veteran, but we know his stealing, and it's not the prettiest. If he gets his assignment well and executes, that's one thing, but we miss that dynamic presence in the backfield. I'd love to see Rowan McKinley start to fill that role. Eric Rowe at times is a tight end killer. He's a veteran as well. He a little bit higher ceiling than Fagellum when it comes to when it's all said and done. But at the end of the day, Vernon McKinley's untapped. It's a bit scary, though, if we are playing Kader Kohu and Vernon McKinley, two UDFAs from this year. Granted, Vernon McKinley has missed the last 2 weeks due to injury. I hope he rushes back to the field, and he's proven himself to be quite of a player, hell of a player. And that's interests me. It asks me, it begs the question, if we've seen this development, this spark from Kader Kohu, can we see this for Vernon McKinley? A bit of an undersized guy, uses more of instincts and very good awareness. I think he's like 5'11". Vernon McKinley's not the biggest safety, but he's can't measure intangibles, can't measure heart. And if he's got the chemistry with Javon, if he knows what to do, then unfortunately it's sad to see Brandon Jones go down. But Kader Kohu has sparked this thought of, well, if one undrafted free agent did well, why can't Vernon McKinley do well? I like what I've seen from Clayton Fajellum at times. Again, I'd rather him be on special teams. The biggest issue with our injuries is that as we start to get banged up, our special teamers become starters. And not only does our starting depth get impacted, but then our special teams as well starts to get a little crushed up. And that's tough, man. It really is tough. Oh, I want us to see us to get better, but it's a bit of a guess right now. Would you rather see us rock with Clayton Fajellum or Eric Rowe, more proven commodities, but more of a, you know what you're going to get with them and how that limits, they each limit our defense a little bit in slightly different ways? Or do you want to go for Vernon McKinley, who, I'll clarify, also will at first limit us because it is someone with inexperience? But it's a bit of a gamble in the sense that if it pays off, you can find a new safety. My thing is, I'm not sure what angle the defensive Boyer wants to go for, or as a defensive coordinator, but I don't really care about Boyer's thought process on this one. I care about Sam Madison and Pat Surtain Sr. Sam and Pat have done absolute wonderful jobs coaching the secondary so far. I'm not doing a victory lap, but in the offseason, I was saying that, hey, everyone wants more secondary help. Everyone wants us to sign more corners. And while it would have looked like that nice now because of the injuries, think about all the players we wouldn't have discovered. Like, I'm talking mainly about Kader, but we wouldn't have seen how deep the secondary can go. We wouldn't have found out that Keon Crossan at times can hold off his own. We wouldn't have found Kader Kohu at all. We wouldn't have allowed some of our other players to develop, and that all falls on Sam Madison and Pat Surtain, who have gotten injuries left and right, but next man up after next man up. If there's one group that has shown this room is prepared, our positional group knows the playbook in and out and is ready to go at any time, it's our secondary room so far. Our DBs have had to step up when asked to, mid-game, right before game time, whatever it may be, and they have performed. We are holding teams to 10 points, 13 points, 16 points, 20 points. Like, we are minimizing teams under that magic 24 number. That's what I want to see from our Dolphins defense. And a big part of it is that secondary, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend and say that the pass rush has been phenomenal, because it's not been. It has not been. It has been severely lacking. Yes, Jalen Phillips finally had a bit of a game with a sack and a half, 2 QB hits, but I need to see more pressure because it'll take off pressure from our secondary, okay? Let's do it. Let's play some complementary football, and that doesn't only mean offense and defense, but it means my pass rush has to support my secondary by getting after the QB so that they're not on islands all day and eventually get burned. But my secondary also has to buy my pass rush enough time saying, hey, we're gonna seal up enough windows that you'll have enough time to get after the QB. It works both ways. Sam Madison and Pat Surtain have seemed to be doing their job. I'd love to see Byron Jones back to see what they can do with him, but X and Byron would be scary. But for now, we're going to have to settle for Xavier Howard. Freaking Kader Kohu, if he's healthy. Nick Needham. No, sorry, Nick Needham torn ACL. Wow, that's terrible, and I hope a speedy recovery for him as well. Dang, we probably are going to have to sign a corner or a trade for a depth piece the more I think about it and I try to name the secondary. But the big point I'm trying to get to is I'm going to just defer to whatever Sam and Pat want to do. And it might seem like a lazy take. It might seem like, oh, you're not going to even call for a player. It doesn't really matter who I call for. By now in the season, Pat and Sam have gotten a pretty good gauge on what our secondary is, where their strengths are, what needs to directly be addressed, and what has potential room to growth. This isn't a perfect secondary, but they seem to know how to make it work. So I'm going to keep deferring to their judgment. Whatever piece they'd like to add, whether it comes from a practice squad signing, for trade, a free agent, whatever it may be, Pat and Sam, I got the trust in them right now. Those are two phenomenal cornerbacks, two phenomenal coaches in their own right, and they have not disappointed me yet. So I'll keep trusting their eye. We keep rocking with it. Like, it's Sam Madison and Pat Surtain, two of the best corners we've ever had as Dolphins. Okay. Sam has done great work for the Kansas City Chiefs, and now in Miami, he's continuing up that work. Pat, I've talked about it all the time. He was the head coach of American Heritage my last year after Coach Mike Rump went to UM to be a DB coach for them. Then Pat came, taught Pat Surtain Jr., Tyron Campbell, freaking Marco Wilson, who all went to Bama for Pat Jr., Tyron Campbell went to Georgia. Boom. Second rounder for the Jaguars. And then Marco Wilson, I think he's a fourth rounder for the Cardinals. Bang. Pat knows how to develop corners. Sam was doing it in Kansas. These are guys who had mountains of experience, not only in the NFL as players, but as coaches. And now they're continuing to do it for the Dolphins. And I've loved that. I've loved that. Hopefully there's no more injuries. Hopefully we can continue to see development and growth. But most importantly, man, I hope for a speedy recovery for Nick Needham and for Brandon Jones. That's a real shame, man. Those are two phenomenal, hungry young players with chips on their shoulders after, Nick Needham was undrafted and he was on a second-round tender this year. It's a little tough for him, man. I wanted to see him get paid to get that money, but it's not to be. But, oh well. Here's to keep hoping. We're almost at halfway. There we go. Bang-a-rang. That was the sad news. So now we'll restart. We'll reset a little bit. I'm going to share this link one more time. And then I'm going to talk about the Steelers game. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in so far, though. We've got a good show ahead. As the title states, I was just talking about Brandon Jones for a bit, injuries and whatnot. Always a damn shame. He was officially called out for the year right before this show started. My fumigator is actually a Jets fan, great guy. He was trying to give me his thoughts on Brandon Jones. Did not want to sit there and listen to it. Hold on, guys. The softness is coming out of me. I think the biggest thing that freaks me out about when I hit my inhaler on air is that, sorry, it just kicked in. Wow. Ooh. Biggest scary part about hitting my inhaler on air is that as someone who used to do radio briefly, for FIU. Oh, why do I discredit myself? I used to do radio briefly. End of story. Whether it was for FIU or not, that's a different story. But hey, dead air, the most annoying thing. So when I hit that inhaler and there's that little silence, scares me a tad. But we're here. We're good to rock still. Boom. How can we continue to talk? Well, I think it's time now. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Bang-a-rang. Anyone wants to come in, come up. There we go. We got the link right there. Let's talk a little Dolphins talk, man. So over the Steelers, Sunday Night Football, going to the game. I've talked about it in a couple other episodes when I just dropped little solo episodes. Oy. Definitely a dream come true. The more I look back on it, the more I think about it, I will always remember this game fondly. Thank you to the Miami Dolphins for giving these little commemorative tickets for the first 20,000 people were able to enter the stadium. They were given these. I don't know what material it is up front. It's almost like a glass, like hard material. On the back, it does seem to be like a material that can be damaged. So I have not tried to play around with it too much, but it's pretty cool. It's like a commemorative ticket that'll hopefully last the test of time. Goes Miami Dolphins versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Got the stadium, the old logo. Gives you the time, 8:20 p.m., Sunday, October 23rd, 2022. Section 50, row 72, seat 17. That's right. 50 years ago, 72, 17 wins. I love that little tidbit. Bang. At first, when I saw it, I'm going to admit I was a little too too many Vasa Sewers, too many Coors Lights, too many drinks in general, honestly. I did not understand that section thing at all. I was like, you idiots. I'm section 349. You got my section wrong. Obviously, they didn't make a personal ticket for everyone. Stupid little drunk Nando. But I digress. Back to the show. On the back, it's pretty cool. It's got the Miami Dolphins 50, and it's got the little Pepsi logo on it. I'm going to read a little quote. It's a bit long, so if you want to skip this part, if you're rewatching, I totally understand. You're probably going to have to skip forward like a minute. But here it goes. The 1972 Miami Dolphins, the perfect season. They will be linked together for as long as there is a National Football League. The pro football world has never seen anything like this. For one magical season, the Miami Dolphins were perfect. It's one thing to be champions. It's another thing to reach a plateau that never before or since attained. Argue all you want about the greatest team of all time, but none of them were perfect. None of them succeeded under the enormous pressure of winning every game, every week. None of them can touch those 72 Dolphins. Bam. And honestly, it's an immensely valid point. The pride seeing Sanka, Mercury Morris, Paul Warfield, Larry Little, all of them just hitting the field, man. Just, it's going to be a shame when more of the 72 class starts to pass. But for now, the ones who came, the ones who were there, it definitely gave a morale and energy boost to the stadium. An awesome sight to see. Historic as well. If there wasn't already a dream come true to go to Sunday Night Football itself, a ticket like this reminds me about that ceremony, about those players. And dang, truly what a great night. Chills, electrifying. And again, I'm so sad my phone is on this thing. It looks like tomorrow's stream, I'm going to have to pull up the videos if it even matters. I am a loud screamer. I'm going to try to, I think I've got a YouTube short of myself doing it. I will. Oh yeah. Okay. So Dolphins beat the Steelers 16-10. I'm going to get very loud. So, hey, if you're watching, please lower your volume for the next part as I am about to scream in the video I'm going to share. Okay. Sounds good.
And when we say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. Miami Dolphins! Miami Dolphins! Miami Dolphins number one!
What great vibes.
Miami Dolphins! Miami Dolphins! Miami Dolphins number one!
That's the only video I've got because the other videos were too heinous to just post. I had them on my phone. I was going to share them on the stream because that's just funny, but not that. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool game under the bright lights. Sunday Night Football glory. If you thought that was loud, if you thought that was intense, that's nothing. That's the end of the game. That's when the steam is let out of me, and I'm just kind of getting my last belt out, my last scream, so I can go back to the car and I'm not bouncing around. Because I like to believe I am the catalyst for my section, the guy who gets loud. That was a fun time at the stadium, man. Getting loud on third down every time, it's a given. I'll never sit down. I started to even get annoyed when the Steelers started freaking doing a little hurry up offense on third down. I started getting up on second down to counteract that. We get after it, man. That was if you ever sit near me in section 349, you'll notice me. Okay, you saw that little helmet. I wear those for primetime night games. Always a fun time. Good vibes, man. But a win over the Steelers is a win over the Steelers on primetime. This isn't some little Jaguars. This isn't some almost like the Cardinals. No. Jaguars, the Lions, the Browns. I was gonna say Cleveland. That's why I mixed up with the Cardinals. Anyways, but this isn't one of those little scummy organizations that has no history, no weight. Isn't well run. This isn't the Washington Commanders. Okay, no. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who up until this year under Mike Tomlin have never had a losing record. Now they're 2-5, but they are the epitome of what it means to be consistent and stable in the NFL. Maybe the only more stable organization is the Patriots. And the Steelers came ready to play, man. And yes, it was a tight, ugly game, but we won. And I believe that momentum is going to carry over to the Detroit game. And it's going to carry over to the Chicago game. And it's going to spark us on this win streak. We saw last year what happened when we won under the bright lights, when we won in Baltimore, that prime time game. Okay. That energy in Hard Rock, it seemed like our players absorbed it, took it, and just ran with it, man. We kept going on a win streak after that, and it was beautiful to see. Was it the most pretty win? No. It was a 22-10 win over the Ravens. This is 16-10. I would have loved to see a little bit more points, of course. Sure. But it's that same idea of, hey, the Miami Dolphins are going to have a tough defense. It's going to get after you. It's going to play you hard till the whistle. Can the offense do enough, be complimentary enough to help us win games? And I agree. What we saw on Sunday versus the Steelers won't win us games against every team in the NFL. But any given Sunday, in a situation where our defense is limiting the other offense, okay, just look at it that way. If our defense can limit the other offense, and our offense can do enough, hopefully in this case, it's scoring more than 16 points, okay? Because I agree, limiting offenses for different teams means different things. Okay, like limiting the Steelers was 10 points. Limiting the Vikings would have hopefully been like 16, 15 points. Limiting the Chiefs is probably a little under 30. So to beat the Chiefs, you got to outscore them. Same thing with the Bills, okay? Which is why we had to crack into the 20s for the Bills, okay? But if we can get to that point where we're limiting the other team and then we're asking, okay, offense, this is the benchmark you've got to reach. Can you make it? I need to see that consistency in the team. I need to see that growth. Yes, from Tua, from quarterback one. I need to see Uno. I don't want to hear rust. I want to hear, hey, my bad. Next game is going to be better. Bang, we go. I believe in the kid. I think he can do it. I think he has the ability, and we've already seen the ability. We haven't lost the game with him yet, so I'm not saying he's on a short leash. What I'm saying is, as long as Tua can do that any given Sunday, I think we can win. I think our defense is ready to play. As long as our offense is ready to match, good to rock. Raheem Mostert had over 100 yards. I think he had 79 rushing yards, like 30 receiving yards. What a monster. Kit Man's getting more and more involved. Earlier in the season, I wanted more of an Edmonds to Mostert approach in the sense that start off with Edmonds, then go to Mostert, then Edmonds to Mostert, just to keep Mostert fresh. He is the more dynamic back, but if his health is permitting him to run this heavy right now, to beat this many touches, why not let it ride, man? It's awesome to see. That's if his knee can hold up, if his hamstrings are good to go. Hey, man, who am I to judge? Let it rock. We talked about Sam Madison and Pat Surtain, like trusting them for the secondary. Say what you want. I get we want Mike McDaniel to score more points. I still trust him as a running back guy. If he thinks Mostert's the guy, let him run with it. Let's go, go, go. I like it. What I don't like is when we shy away from him or when we seem to, on inopportune times, like shy away from either running or shy away from Mostert in general. And we'll bring in Edmonds, who I like. I got him on a bunch of fantasy teams for a reason. I definitely believe in the kid. I saw in training camp he looked hot. And then he seemed to cool off after the first couple weeks of the season. Can't really catch at times. He's had a bad case of the dropsies, the yips, whatever you want to call it. I'm not saying it's time to move on or anything, but it's a time to say, hey, it's third down. Let's let Mostert in there, especially when you just ran a play with Chase Edmonds and it got nothing. Of course, Now, granted, there's health and workloads, and I'm not an NFL coach. It's on me. I have yet to look at the All-22 or the condensed game. I've got to rewatch that. There is a lot to be said about watching the game in person and then watching the game on the TV. So, hey, maybe McDaniel saw something I didn't. But I have to believe that Raheem Mostert was the best guy to call if you wanted to dial up a run play. I still believe that you should have let Tua have the ball in his hands and say, hey, it's third and short. Let's see if I'm going to pass it, run it, or if I'm going to go for a little QB schmirky. But we're good to go. And I did have someone pop in the back room, so I'm just talking the Steelers right now. I'm probably going to pop over to the Lions game, but I am not a fish. Ooh, I'm about to pop you in right now. What is up?
Hey, what's good? It's Ian Baller.
Oh, what's up, EM? How's it going, man?
Everything's great. You know, I'm on vacation for the week from work. This is the first time in like 6 years of working where I work that I've had a week vacation. So I'm just relaxing right now.
Dude, that must feel so good. Like, I hope you have a whole week off.
Yep. I moved to an RV park, so I got a lake near me. You know, I can chill.
There we go. I don't know if you fish. That'd be a nice time.
Yeah, I do need to buy a fishing license, so that's a bum. That's the only bummer is that I don't have a fishing license, so I got to buy one and then I can fish. But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but then you're set, and then you're set and good to go, man.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was a week off after 6 years of not having anything. That's brutal, man. You rest up and enjoy however you want to, man. Fishing, feet up, napping, reading, whatever you want to do, man. That's your call, bro. You've earned that.
I mean, I'm not saying I never took a day off. Like I would take a day off, you know, like once every
right, but an extended time. Yeah,
yeah.
Extended time, like a week is
yes.
A week is a week, bro. Like that's a day or two. It definitely recharges the battery sometimes, but it's not like that.
And my boss recommended it because I do have a lot of PTO that I need to get rid of sometimes. So,
hey, why not? Why not let it fly? Oh, I'm glad you're doing good though, man. That's good to hear.
Oh yeah, Dolphins are doing good. I'm doing good. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I was just talking a little bit about the Steelers game, about how what I wanted to see a little bit better. But it's time to also talk about the Lions too. I don't know what you were jonesing to talk about. If you want to talk still more some Steelers, talk some Lions, whatever your call, man.
I'll just be brief on the Steelers. I mean, I did say this. I feel like this is McDaniel's worst game as the head coach so far. But that's fine because he's a rookie head coach and there's a lot of mistakes that he made that can easily be fixed. You know,
yes.
He's still working on his stuff. Players are working on their stuff. So, you know, if this is his worst game and we still won, sign me up. Hopefully,
sign me up. Exactly. If a bad game means losing on prime time, tush. I'd love to reevaluate my standards to that. Like
exactly, and Tua will be fine. Everyone's overacting about the second half. Tua's fine. Tua's good. Tua's gonna ball out.
Yeah, as long as we're winning, like I understand, like wanting improvement. Like I agree. Like I was just hitting that. Like as long as our defense is limiting teams, our offense just has to do whatever that all the offense isn't doing. You know what I'm saying? If they're only scoring 10 points, you just have to score more than 10. If they're scoring 20, we just have to score more than 20. I think Tua can do it. I think he's going to keep improving. It's that consistency we need, but we'll be fine, man. It's still, like you said, it's early in Mike McDaniel's career, and we're 4-3.
And I don't want to hear anybody say, "Oh, we're going to be if we win out the next like few games, oh, we beat bad teams." I don't want to hear that crap. It's the NFL. Everyone's a professional. You got to beat who's in front of you. Like last year, we're going to beat the Jaguars. We lost. Oh, we're going to beat the Falcons. We lost. So you got to beat the teams that are in front of you.
Exactly. Any game of Sunday, you know, at the end of the day, these are the top 32 teams in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like there's a disparity sometimes, like, in talent level, but there's still some of the best players, some of the best athletes. Like, anything can happen on any Sunday. They're bad teams, yes, but look how the Bears just came alive and they just smacked the Patriots around. Like, teams can come to play.
What do you think about that quarterback situation in the Patriots? You think Mac Jones keeps his job, or do you think they took his job?
Well, so supposedly they're saying he is the starter this week, that Mac is supposed to be coming back. And I think he actually, like, credit to Mac Jones, handled it super well, like on the sideline. Like, I don't know if I got benched. I don't know if I'm giving a high five. I don't know if I'm like super happy. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you saw Zappy throwing some TDs.
Inside, though.
Oh, for sure. Dead inside. But hey, at the very least, he's a phenomenal actor. You know what I'm saying? Like, send this kid to Hollywood.
Have you seen his press conferences? He's like Belichick's son. Like, he doesn't say anything. He's like a robot. It's like Belichick made him in a lab with rusty parts, and he only has a few phrases to say.
No, I agree. That's definitely something that I feel like, you know, Bill Belichick called Saban and was like, yo, what do you think about this guy? Yo, Bill, perfect guy for you. Not much of a talker. You're good to go, man. He'll follow the ways real well. And yeah, he's a bit of a robot, man. So I think if he does get relegated to a backup role, he'll handle it well. Zappy is a cool name. I don't know if he's anything crazy better than Mac Jones, but if he's providing a spark for the team and they're winning, it's kind of hard to shy away from that, you know?
I mean,
I don't think
Mac Jones's talent, but Zap, he's not that good of a quarterback. Like he's a less talented version of Skyler. Like maybe Zappy will give you a team of spark here and there, but there's a big talent discrepancy there.
Oh, I agree.
I can say that Skyler is talented. There's some talent there. Zappy, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I agree that when you look at Skylar Thompson, there's definitely some nice things to look at. That's why we keep saying that he has this potential, why McDaniels wants to mold him, why I generally think he deserves time on the bench to be able to develop into a better player, like a more poised player who's ready to hit the NFL field because he's got the tools. Zappy, like it seems almost like he's ready right now, but I don't see anything that he's going to grow into. But Bill Belichick knows how to just almost like transform his scheme and just be like, hey, I'm going to make you look decent enough that we're going to win. And it's fine. It works. I don't know why Mac Jones seems to like, it was almost like he was limiting Bill. Like that's really what it shows. Zappy doing this well was almost like, Jesus, Mac that bad that not even Bill Belichick could squeeze some goodness out of him.
I still think Belichick is doing all their quarterbacks a disservice by their offensive coordinator situation.
Oh no, that for sure, man. I think he's trying to get too cute with it. You know, it's almost like I think he's trying to be like, oh, we can make it work with anything.
Yeah, and I've warned Patriots fans about this. As Dolphins fans, we know what dual offensive coordinators look like, and we didn't like it. So it's not a good, especially two guys that didn't work on offense in a long time. Like Judge was a quarterback coach or a quarterback a long time ago, and Patricia was an assistant offensive line coach. Like, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and then they've been defensive coordinator or special teams like backgrounds for the rest of their career. Like it's definitely not going to work, man. Like it's not been working. I agree. It's not fair to Mac. It's not fair to Zappy. Like it's not fair to the Patriots offense. Like it's no wonder they keep shooting themselves in the foot sometimes. But at the end of the day, like that's the dice that Bill decided to roll, and he's supposed to be the greatest coach of all time or whatever. So if that was his call, oops.
And the reason why I think Belichick did it is because he doesn't like to hire people outside of the Patriots, family to come aboard. Like you see it every time a Belichick disciple doesn't do well, they come back to the Patriots if they want to come back. I don't think Flores wanted to come back to the Patriots, so that's why he took a job with the Steelers. So Belichick wants, when you're part of the Belichick's family tree or whatever, like part of his coaching group clique, if he'll always make you, he'll always say you can always come back here. But if you're like let's say like a Mike McDaniel when he was a running game coordinator for the 49ers, and let's just say Josh McDaniels got a head coach job a year earlier. Belichick's not going to look for a Mike McDaniel in San Francisco. He's going to hire from within.
Yeah, I mean, it makes him look a little better too, man. It's like, oh, look, my guys are getting promoted. They're doing well. I'm developing them. It's kind of shooting them in the foot though right now, man. It's crazy. Like if they've draft weird and they hire weird, I agree. Like hiring always within, it looks good, I guess, but at the same time, like they're out of offensive guys and they're just randomly plugging in people in there. It's just I don't know what they're doing in there. Oh, but hey, Patricia Field in Detroit. I think Dan Campbell was doing better than him there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just look at the players' demeanor. I mean, they want to play for Dan Campbell. For Patricia, it was like, oh, my gosh, this is our head coach. He's got a pencil in his ear all the time, and he says nonsense. Like, bruh, no. Yeah, there's a big difference.
Honestly, if I had Matt Patricia in my face, like, I'd want to flick his pencil so bad. I'd be like, Coach, please. Dan Campbell?
I want to take that pencil out of his ear and just snap it with my knee. And just throw it on the ground and be like, this is what I think of you as a offensive coordinator, not defensive coordinator, as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
just
man.
Throw that pencil on the ground.
I hope Devontae Parker snaps his pencil, man. That'd be hilarious.
I mean, not if he's getting 50-50 balls like he's been getting, but
that's valid.
He's still not winning though, so
valid. But dang, I do think it's going to be a little tougher in Detroit because it's that difference of like, I don't know, like I feel like players don't always play for Belichick coaches, but a guy like Dan Campbell, make you run through a wall, man. Like that's the kind of guy who you'll play tough for. Oh, I'm scared for his pregame speech, man. He'll talk about the Dolphins, I'm sure. He'll get the boys hype up for a win. That's going to be, I think it's going to, I want us to win, but I think it's going to be a bit of a tough game.
It'll be a tough game if we give them any breathing room. Like if we just have our foot on the gas pedal and then we take it off similar to what we did with Pittsburgh, it'll be a lot tougher than what we saw at Pittsburgh, because I was never scared of Pittsburgh because of how their offense looks and Matt Canada. I like to troll Q, be like, hey, how's Matt Canada doing? Leave me alone. So, but yeah, I mean, we got to just play hard for 60 minutes versus the Lions. And if we do that, we should win pretty easily because of the talent discrepancy between the two teams.
No, I agree, man. Like if it's, I like what you said. Like if we take our foot off the pedal, like it's a tough situation. Because at home against the Steelers, I was never afraid. Like we had the crowd to at least put them back at bay. We could make some plays and we were good. But if we let the Lions get their confidence up even a little, whether it's on offense or defense, that stadium can get a little loud. It can get a little shaky, and then we're not playing to our game plan. I want us to go out there, hit it hot, score, whatever, force them to a 3 and out, but just be in the driver's seat the entire time. I don't want to have to battle back and forth with momentum. I want to have it the entire time.
And I'm more confident against the Lions because they have a good run game, and I believe in our run defense. So we gotta play better outside run defense, but I trust our run defense, so I'm more confident in this game because I kind of like Jared Goff, but he is what he is. You know, I'm not scared of Jared Goff. So.
Yeah, like I'm out here like thinking that we're whipping up this crazy game plan to out scheme Jared Goff. I don't think Boyer and Sam Madison and the boys are quaking in their boots. Like it is what it is. They'll rattle him a bit. I hope that Jalen Phillips keeps staying hot and gets after the QB, but I don't know. I'm not afraid of Jared Goff and the boys. We're favored by 3.5 though, at least, man. That's a nice time.
I mean, we better be. I mean, they never give us any love, so thankfully they gave us love, and we are away, so they gave us a little bit more love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I appreciated that. It's they're finally starting to give us at least some love, bro. Even away, like I was thinking maybe they'd be like, oh yeah, Dolphins -1. But no, 3.5.
I mean, they're seeing what some of us are seeing with Tua and with Armstead. Bro, we can be a good team.
Oh, dude, with Tua and Armstead, it's night and day difference, man. Like Mostert was talking about it, like that energy that like Tua brings. And it's like even if you want to look at it objectively, like you might not be like whoever's like not a Tua guy. Like I think Tua as a man, as a player is phenomenal, brings a great energy. But just look at him as a captain. Like think about just adding a captain back to your locker room. That's awesome. You know, now that's your quarterback. Now that's one of your favorite leaders. That's one of your good buddies. Even better. And like Tua is such a likable guy. Like I have to believe, just as a person, you just want to root for him. You see, hey, he's healthy again. Boom, let's go. We're all fired up. Like it's night and day difference, bro.
And hearing what Mostert had to say about Tua, the first thing that came to my head is what Omar Kelly said when he called Tua a weirdo. Like, I don't think Mostert thinks he's a weirdo. He thinks he's a leader.
Exactly. Like I think it's like almost like that. There's this idea of what a quarterback has to do and has to say and have to be a leader, but it's not always the case. And it kind of like, if you want to talk about Justin Herbert for a second, like I don't really, but like people were saying, hey, Justin Herbert's a little quirky, doesn't really command a huddle. And then he seems to be doing fine with the Chargers at times. Tua, a bit of a weirdo, yeah, but if it works with his players, it works with his players. Like I'll trust what the players say over what Omar says, you know? Like they're in the locker room. That's what matters. If Mostert doesn't think he's a weirdo, who cares?
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being a weirdo. You know, we're all
that's what I'm saying.
Inside. But yeah, a quarterback doesn't have to be a Fitzpatrick where he, you know, he's got that big Grizzly Adams beard and he jumps up and he yells, you know, like you don't have to be that
exactly
to be a leader. Like Dan Campbell. I like Dan Campbell and his leadership skills, but that's not the only way to lead is to be that raw coach.
For sure.
Right off kneecaps, you know, like you know, we don't have. That's not what a definition of a leader is. You know, there's all kinds of leaders out there.
Exactly. Everyone has their own leadership style. Like, not everyone's built the same, but you can lead. and like Mike McDaniel, Dan Campbell, I would say their demeanors are very different, but they're both seem to be excellent leaders. So I'll take that.
Yeah, because anyone who's played for McDaniel can tell you he's a leader of men. He's a quirky guy, but he's a leader of men. He's got his own way of commanding a team.
Exactly, man. It's oof. I want to keep seeing that, but I'm excited that the on-field leader is back, man. A little two at a time, a little back on the road. Hopefully, another week of practice under the belt. They still play in a dome, right?
The Lions?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know why. I felt like there was a team up north that got rid of a dome, but I think the Lions still do for sure. All right. So then he should be fine, man. We don't even have to contend for wind or weather. Like,
did the Vikings get rid of a dome?
I think maybe the Vikings did. I don't know. I might just be totally wrong, bro. But hey, as long as the Lions have a dome, that's all I care about right now. Tua, let's run the ball. Let's throw it to Tyreek and Waddle, and bada beam, bada goom. Let's get some points, bro. Like I'm not saying I don't think we're gonna destroy them, but I think we should definitely be in a commanding lead the entire time.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think we can get off to a hot start early, and we can hopefully do better offensively, but and kick a field goal when you can be up by 2 scores. But I do believe we can win this game. But like I told everybody, it's the NFL. Every game is tough. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, this is an easy win." No, there's no easy wins in the NFL.
Exactly, man. That field goal thing. So you didn't think they should go for it on 4th down? You wanted them to kick a field goal, go for the 2 score?
Absolutely, because I looked at the situation at the time. At the time, I was like, okay, we're up by 6. If we go for it, there's a good chance we can make it and go and maybe get a touchdown. But the Steelers' offense has been so bad. Why don't we just kick this field goal, and then they'll have to score a touchdown and then score a field goal just to lead ahead of us. But if they were to come back and score a touchdown, then we would be down. So, yeah, at the time, we should kick the field goal, especially because Sanders was hot. If he was missing several kicks, then okay, I get it. And if you wanted to go for it, there was a lot better play calls than just running doing an inside zone with Chase Edmonds with not much creativity to it. Like,
yeah, it's 4th down.
If you wanted to go for it, just call it a better play than that, McDaniel. Come on.
I agree. Like it was a little weird. It was almost almost felt like a half-assed 4th down, but it was almost like, I'm just gonna go for it. He just ran up.
What he wanted to happen is that we were doing a quick hurry-up offense. So maybe what he thought is that, they're probably not expecting us to go for it, and we're hurrying up so fast. What if we get this run in, and then people are out of position, and we could get the 1st down? That's the only logical explanation I could see why he did what he did at the time. But I would have just got the points. We're up by 9, and they have to score a touchdown, and they have to stop us, and they have to kick a field goal, which I don't think they would have done. So yeah.
No, yeah. In the moment, I hate jinxing myself at games, and I just drunkenly said, I was like, we're not going for it. What if those 3 points bite us in the ass later? And then at the end of the game, when they were driving down and it was 10-16, I was like, oh my God, Nando, what did you do? They're going to score a touchdown. They're going to win by 1, and it's all my fault. But thankfully, those 3 points didn't bite us in the ass, man. But it would have been so nice to be up 19-10 at the end of the game.
Well, of course it didn't bite us in the ass because we got the greatest cornerback to ever live, Noah Benogany.
King Benogany, bro. King.
Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark, man. All aboard, baby. Wow. That's such a funny moment how like one play can really change your game. By the way, it is a dome, so Sanders should be good to kick, man. That's also something else I wanted to factor in.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. It is a dome. Yeah, so, yeah, Ford Field's a dome, so that's good.
Thank you, Grant is here. What's up, boss, by the way? But, yeah, I would have wanted to kick it, man. Sanders, as long as he's hot, he should be good to go, bro. But I tell you, it's almost –
It is turf field as well. That scares me a little bit.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Last year it was, it's the holder. Like, I don't know what the excuse is. This year, like, he's shown times where he gets hot, but there's also been some weird inconsistencies and hiccups that just, yeah, bro.
Yeah, and he definitely needs to be more consistent because I was saying it was the holder, and it looked like early on it was just the holder, but then he started missing, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Is he even that good anymore? Like, and then he made a lot this last game, and I'm like, okay, so he just needs to be more consistent. I agree.
Yeah, like it's last year they were thinking it was Pilardi, like it was the holding. This year it looked good, and then I don't know, I was talking to Nicky Smokes the other day. It's like it's almost like he's got the yips, bro. Like, or like he's freezing up, man. Like I don't know what it is. Like it's maybe he's not good anymore, but we're paying him so much that he better be, bro. Like I don't know what we're gonna do. Just pray.
Yeah, just hope that he just be more consistent, and that our contract we gave to him is worth it. And I believe in Sanders, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully he does. Hopefully. So far, none of his kicks cost us a game. Like, we got like a 50-yard field goal. If we make this, time will expire and we win. If we miss, we lose. Luckily, nothing has happened in that situation. So,
agreed.
Hopefully, he doesn't miss that type of situation, though. So,
no, agreed, man. Like I think that massively crashes confidence as well. Like it's something, especially with kickers. Especially if they do indeed have the yips, like it's all about confidence. I don't know if I'd trot him out there for a game-winning field goal, but getting him out there in situations where it's like, hey, we're gonna trust you for a longer field goal to put us up. That'll do good for Sanders, and hopefully it'll spark and activate him because that's really the only option we have. It's hope he gets better. I don't really see us cutting him, and I don't see us moving on to any kicker this year, anyways.
I mean, it all depends on who's available. Like. That's when people say, "Oh, we need to get rid of two." I'm like, "Yeah, but replace them with who?" Like,
no, yeah. I mean, like mid-season, there's no one available.
Sanders, but with who?
Yeah, mid-season, no one at all. Like maybe after the season, and even then, it's like kickers. There's not exactly 32 elite kickers in the NFL. So
yeah, there's a lot of teams out there that are still looking for a kicker. You know,
like if Jason Sanders gets cut, he's picked up tomorrow.
Absolutely, yes. Because that Blankenship guy with the glasses by the Colts, and he was picked up right then and there.
Yeah, he's on the Cardinals, I think now. Yeah, Rodrigo Blankenship. Yep. Specs. Oh, he was on my Dynasty Fantasy Football League for years just because of the glasses, man. Not the best kicker.
He's a phenomenal athlete. Look at his muscles.
Look at his muscles, baby. Woo! Oh, what an athlete! What a guy, bro. Let's get him on the bench. Oh, dude, how do you feel about our corners? Like, we're a bit banged up, bro. Brandon Jones is out. I was talking about that earlier. That was definitely tough. Do we think we sign anyone? Make a trade? Rock with what we've got?
I heard from Batman that there's some reports saying that we're talking about to Greedy Williams about like a trade to get Greedy Williams from the Browns. I would like that. I keep forgetting his name, but there's a safety for the 49ers who's pretty decent that would be interest to me. So obviously, I think we're getting Kahu back this coming week. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he missed the last two. Oh, maybe Crossing, that'd be massive, man.
Yeah, so I expect to get at least one of them, at minimum, back against the Lions. So, but still, I would, because we got so many ACL tears on the secondary, unfortunately, and we all know about Byron Jones, I would not mind and I would not hesitate if we could as long as we don't give up too much capital, just cheaply get another DB to add to this team who's pretty good. And I mean, I like the team. I like the defense. I like the secondary, but I would definitely add another person.
Yeah.
Before the deadline.
Yeah. Oh, you said before offensive line?
Before the deadline as well.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't know. I would definitely take an offensive lineman over a corner right now. But
But with the offensive line, everyone wants to get a center. I like Connor Williams at center. My problem is we need to get a left guard, but I don't think there's any left guards available. So my issue is that is Dieter or Robert Jones really that bad where they can't start over Liam Eichenberg, or are they just giving Liam Eichenberg way too many chances? Like, I mean, I would consider having Robert Jones and Dieter compete for that left guard spot and see, and whoever wins out, then see how they do it starting left guard. And I'm confident they would do better than Liam Eichenberg.
Yeah, it's Applebaum is letting it ride. I agree. Maybe they're giving Eichenberg a little bit too much leeway. It seems every week we're highlighting a thing that he just horribly messed up on or totally whiffed on or got pushed to the ground or just bullied around. But I think if we add a center, it's almost like addition by addition, man. Then I think Connor Williams is fine at center, but then you get to move him to left guard and then bang, you get more guys the young guys like Eichenberg can keep developing. And then you get Connor at left guard, you get a better center, and bada bing, bada bam, the O-line looks better as a whole. But maybe corner, I don't know. Would you say corner or O-line would you rather trade for before the deadline?
More likely DB than O-lineman, but O-lineman.
We did sign Jamal Perry.
No, I don't like Jamal Perry. He's just the guy. Not even just the guy. I won't even give him that too much credit. Isn't he going to be on the practice squad, or is he on the active roster?
Yeah, I think he's saying he got signed to the practice squad.
Okay, yeah. So he's not even on the active roster. So get a decent DB on the active roster and let him compete with our other guys.
I think maybe that means Ron McKinley will stay up then, right?
Yeah, I want him to stay on the practice squad because I want him to develop and get stronger because he's kind of a slimmer guy, not the greatest athlete. So I just want him to work at his craft before he steps on an actual field.
I agree, and that's totally fine.
He's similar to Ezekama, I think he's very talented, but I think he should have a redshirt year just to learn the system and learn the NFL game before he plays in the NFL.
No, yeah, like that'd be oof. There's nothing wrong with letting guys develop, I think, especially if they come from schools where maybe they didn't get to beef up as much. I mean, Oregon and Texas Tech are pretty big schools, but hey, for some reason, Ron McKinley and Eric Ezekama need some more conditioning, need to get more used to the NFL. That's fine. Let's let them rock. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with letting them rest. We have an amazing receiver room. It's okay if Ezekama takes a second, No, I did not play cornerback or safety in high school, bro. I played lacrosse, man. I'd get dusted on a football field.
I played safety in football. I was a wide receiver early on, and
maybe he's talking about you.
I was tired of playing wide receiver, and so I told them I wanted to play defense, and they put me at linebacker, and I'm like, wait, I'm 5'9", 175 pounds. Why am I playing linebacker again? And then so whenever I got elevated to the varsity squad, they say, okay, you're going to be moved to safety. And I was like Brandon Jones. I was more of a box safety.
Let's go.
I was more up into the line with the linebackers. I was a safety, and at times
lean and mean.
At times I would cover tight ends as well.
That's pretty cool, man.
So I was a safety in high school on the varsity team.
There we go. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I did a little JV soccer and varsity lacrosse, but never football, bro. I'm 6 foot. No hands, man. So it's never for me, bro. That's pretty cool. You played a little safety, though. Box safety, nice hard hitting, lean and mean EM baller right there, baby.
I mean, a part of them moving me to defense is they saw me on the rugby field. I also played rugby.
Oh, there you go.
I was known as that hard hitting player and
excellent tackling too, probably.
Yeah, excellent tackling, excellent technique. And I didn't get as much playing time as I wanted to in the football field, and it's because I was smaller than the other safeties, and I wasn't the best athlete as the safeties. But the other safeties could barely tackle. I could tackle, but but they knew the system more than me because they were safeties, from the start, and I had to be acclimated to that position. So yeah, that is more of you got to learn all this stuff at a small amount of time, Yeah. And we got guys over you. So if they get injured, then maybe you can get a chance to play, but they didn't get it.
Hey man, at least you played football, bro. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome, man. Like that's. I mean, I went to American Heritage, bro. Like when I went to school, like Sony Michelle, Isaiah McKenzie were on my team. Like I've Brian Burns. Like I'm not playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not happening. So at least you got a chance, though. That's sick. You know, like that's
yeah. And by the time I was on the varsity team, we moved to 6A, so we
Oh, yeah.
tough competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're moving up conferences too, like your school's like doing work, you're like a newer guy too. Like at least you got on the team. That's awesome, you know.
Oh yeah,
Like-
and I got a little bit of playing time.
Yeah,
there,
man, you
but
got your tackles. You got
yeah, but I was mostly when I was playing, it was mostly just on the rugby field. I was a good rugby player, to be honest. But yeah,
there you go, bro. You got your sports in.
yeah, and I played a little bit of soccer in middle school when I was in 8th grade. That was when our middle school first made a soccer team, and they had their first tryouts, and I made the team, and I was
The original team.
yeah, I was on the inaugural team. I forgot I played right backer, I think.
Oh yeah, right back. Yeah. Like a little
Yeah.
defense on the right side. There you go.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a fun time, man. That's why I switched over to lacrosse. I sprained my ankle. I didn't play soccer, and then I was just like conditioning. And they're like, "Yo, you're fast. You should play lacrosse." And then I was like, "I don't even know what that is." Got handed a stick, and I made the varsity because of my athleticism, but nowhere near could I catch. So no, I didn't play my first 2 years at all, bro. I finally got some little action junior year, but it was fun, bro. Like, lacrosse is whatever. Football is a whole nother level. I would trade it all in a heartbeat for football, bro. I'm a guy who broke his wrist playing flag football EM, so you know it's not a football, and I'm more of a talker, not a player.
Yeah, I suffered a couple of injuries in high school. I suffered a broken jaw, but it wasn't playing any organized sports. It was just me playing sandlot football with some of my friends. And I went down for a pass, and one of the corners that was defending me went down for the ball with me as well, and his knee hit the side of my jaw. So I broke my jaw in 2 places on my left side, and I had to get like wires inside my bones
Ouch.
and screws. So it was pretty gnarly looking. When you looked at it, you're like, oh my gosh, that looks nasty. I'm like, yeah, but luckily they put me asleep, so I didn't feel a thing.
Oh, let's go, man. No, I was playing like intramural flag football like at FIU, like my university, like Florida National University.
Yeah.
And my buddy gets intercepted, and I like twice in a row, second offensive drive, and I was like, dude, this is so annoying. So I sprinted, try to take this kid's flag. I ran at him like at a sideways angle. He like pushes me out of bounds. I hit the scoreboard and I like fly. I pulled his flag, but I fly in the air. I try to land on my hands, landed all on my right wrist, and my wrist just became like an S, bro. I didn't even feel it at the time. I tried to walk back on the field, and the referee was like, "You're going to the hospital." I looked at my wrist, and I immediately just collapsed to the floor. Like, that's when the pain all hit, bro. You got 18 stitches. I have like a metal plate there now. I like tore nerves and tendons off of flag football. Flag.
They at least throw a flag, because when I played flag football when I was a kid, someone pushed me out of bounds as well. I got the first down, ran out of bounds, and he pushed me when I was out of bounds. And the worst that happened there was that I just like scraped my arm from the turf, and after
his return got called back, but like he still got the pick, you know. But like he lost like 15 yards or whatever. But like,
yeah.
He said he apologized. I was like, yo, like I know you didn't try to break my wrist, bro. It's okay. Like,
yeah, it's just in the moment. Just the player that pushed me out of bounds. It was just in the moment.
yeah, like, oh, but then that sucks, bro. Broken jaw. I can't even imagine, man. Oh yeah.
Oh, and I suffered, and my other injury throughout high school, I only suffered 2. My other one was a concussion. I suffered a concussion my senior year. I was in the rugby playoffs. It was a semifinals. And early in the game, I was going for a tackle, and then someone's knee hit me on the top of my head at full force. And this dude was massive. This dude, he was like, I would say he's like 6 foot, 225 pounds. Like, this dude looked like a running back. And his thighs were like AJ Dillon's thighs. Like, bro, Like, this dude went on to do big things in rugby. But yeah, he had some massive size, so obviously his knee was big as well. So he hit me in the top of my head. And I didn't know I had a concussion until the end of the game. But I knew that my head hurt, but I was like, man, it's fine. So I played that rest of the game, and we won that game. So my coaches were hesitant to play me the next game because obviously it's the championship game and I want to play, And I told them I'm fine, and then I did walkthroughs with the team, and I told the coaches I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Nothing's wrong with me. And so I played the championship game, but yeah, after that I had to take a couple of a few weeks off from any contact sports, and light became very sensitive to me. So yeah.
Dang.
Well, luckily I didn't. Luckily I got to play all the games. Luckily I didn't get any I didn't pass out. I didn't get knocked out. Luckily.
Yeah. Luckily nothing happened, bro. Nothing
it was
long
just
term.
a regular concussion where I was out for a few weeks, and I got to leave school early, because obviously I'm hurt. Can I leave early? Sure. And because I hate crowds. So me with crowds with a concussion, man, that sucks.
That's tough, bro. That's all that activity around you. Not fun at all. At least they were pretty accommodating though. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they knew what happened, and it was kind of funny because when I was going to get a test done, but I had to finish this week of school, and during one of the classes, the first 3 classes that I had, I did nothing. There was nothing that I was doing or we were doing as a class, so I was just chilling for the most part. And then my last class, I'm like, damn, I couldn't take it. Can I go to the nurse, please? And she's like, what's wrong? And then I told her I had a concussion. She freaked out, and then they had to get me a wheelchair, and they wheelchaired me back to the nurse's office, and then that's
funny.
They left to go. My dad took me to a sports doctor, and actually a sports injury facility for only sports injuries. And obviously they did some pretty cool tests, like a balance test. They did the finger. You gotta move with your eyes and the finger and stuff like that, and other tests. And obviously I had a concussion, so everyone knew that at the time. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
that's part of sports. And when I played sports, both football and rugby, I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah, especially a sport like that, you know what you signed up for. It's contact.
What pisses me off about these so-called doctors saying, "Oh, Tua should retire," even though he suffered 1 concussion, he should retire. I'm like, Tua doesn't want to retire. He wants to play, and Tua knew what he was getting himself into.
Yeah, everyone handles their brain differently, bro. We've seen I remember Chris Borland retired after his rookie year or whatever. Luke Kuechly retired early, but there's some players who they can get concussed, they bounce back from it. There's some guys who say 1 or 2 and I'm done. Everyone, it's their own body, bro. Let them handle it. I'm not gonna have a doctor who's never even diagnosed Tua be like, yeah, he should retire. That'd be if someone was listening to our conversation right now and be like, whoa, EM, yo, you should retire from sports, bro, because I heard you got a concussion a couple years back in high school and played through it. You're done, bro.
Yeah,
never met you, bro. Never met you. Doesn't know your background. Doesn't know your history. Right. They just heard this little conversation and was like, man, EM's got to retire. Can't even.
EM shouldn't play any sport.
Yeah, done.
Got a concussion in a year. What?
It's ridiculous.
And that same doctor had nothing to say about Pickett. I mean, I didn't see, but did he have anything to say about Pickett?
No one had anything to say about Kenny Pickett.
No one had anything to say about Kenny Pickett.
Or Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, and not just that, but when Mike Tomlin says, hey, if they're healthy to play, they're going to play. Mike McDaniel said that exact same thing, and then people on TV want to say Mike McDaniel's doing Tua a disservice. Bro, what are you talking about?
You animal, Mike McDaniel. How dare you not care about your players' safety, and you're going to say that if they're healthy, they're going to play? That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
they have to be healthier than healthy.
Yeah, Stephen A. even said that. He's like, you as a head coach, you should know when your player's not good, and you should keep him out. And even he was saying that Tua shouldn't have played against the Steelers. I'm like, yeah, I can't take these people anymore.
That's ridiculous, bro. Honestly, I understand why a lot of people don't watch sports, like mainstream sports media a lot anymore. It's ridiculous. It almost feels disingenuous when someone like Stephen A. It's do some research about the team, about the situation. Like, Tua doesn't need to retire. He's fine. He's healthy. He's cleared tests for weeks on weeks. Let him play. Like, what would have been the point of keeping him out?
Yeah, I don't understand that. That's why I like Dolphins channels, especially on YouTube. That that difference of opinion, but they'll have a lot more knowledge than whatever the mainstream media says because they actually watch the game. So
yeah, man. Like everyone who like comes up and talks, bro. Like we've had a great conversation. I think today it's been pretty cool, man. It's always on YouTube. You always find, at least like you said, like maybe conflicting opinions, but at least people who are passionate enough for the most part to have done some research and to have talked and give actual valid points. And if you add all that together, you get a very good sense of where the Miami Dolphins are at. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you try to add all the pieces from the national media, you're going to get a really nasty, ugly picture sometimes. It's not even the most accurate one, but you get all the voices on Dolphins YouTube and you add them, bang, and you get a great sense of where the team's at.
This morning, Mad Dog was throwing shade at the Dolphins. At least Stephen A. was giving some credit to the Dolphins, be like, yeah, they could be a good team with Tua at quarterback if he stays healthy. But yeah, Mad Dog was just throwing the Dolphins under the bus.
That's freaking tough, bro. Like, it's definitely frustrating, bro. Like, I think we're getting a win, bro. The Lions got some feisty players, man. Like, but we just beat the Steelers. We're gonna be hot. Screw them on the national media, bro.
Yeah, we're beating the Lions and we're beating the Bears.
Let's go.
We're going to show the Patriots how you beat the Bears, how you beat an athletic quarterback.
Dude,
we did it with Lamar Jackson. We'll just do it with Justin Fields this time.
Exactly, man. I was hate watching that game. It was so much fun watching them get smacked around until I realized, damn it, we play the Bears in 2 weeks. But I think we'll beat them, bro. Like, we'll show them how to shut down Justin Fields, okay? Like, I'm not afraid of Eberflus's amazing offense, okay?
It's mostly Luke Getsy's offense, but yeah, I'm not afraid of it as well because they got no receivers. The only receiver they got is Darnell Mooney, and he's been up and down. So there's no one out. So Howard can get him wherever he goes. That's fine. But everywhere else, I don't care who we play at cornerback. No one's going to beat us on the Bears.
No, exactly, man. And like we have a tougher matchup right now with the Lions. Like
I agree with that.
Like they got Monroe St. Brown. I think they'll have Josh Reynolds back.
Brown brothers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got the St. Brown brothers. They got Josh Reynolds coming back. Like it's DeAndre Swift should be healthy. If not, Jamal Williams is capable. Like they got a good O-line. Like if we can stop that, and I think we'll beat the Lions, there's no reason why I think we'll lose to the Bears. You know what I'm saying? Like
the Bears' offensive line is terrible.
Yeah, the Bears' offensive line is terrible. The receivers are way worse. Like the running backs are pretty good, but
yeah. As long as we just contain Justin Fields and not let him run outside of the numbers on us, we can beat him, no problem. Because I don't believe Justin Fields can beat teams throwing the ball.
Not at all. Not whatsoever, bro. It's if we are daring Justin Fields to throw on us, well, let him throw away. We're going to get pick after pick. Exactly. It's those legs I'm worried about.
Exactly, because Pickett can – I'm not saying Pickett can beat you throwing the ball, but he'll beat you throwing the ball from time to time. But if we can get those turnovers, then we won, and that's what we did against Pittsburgh. But Justin Fields, he's the complete opposite. Like Pickett has some legs, but Justin Fields is all about his legs. So
exactly, man.
So just contain him, just Phillips and Baker, just spy him. I'll say Baker spy him. Phillips just rush the passer. You can beat whoever you're on.
I like that. You know, we'll get after him, man. Dude, I've totally forgot the Lions have TJ Hawkinson, man. Like, and if Swift does come back, how do you think we're going to stop this? Like, we got to contend with Amon-Ra. We got to contend with TJ Hawkinson. It's thankfully it feels like Fields is mobile. Goff is not really. So it's going to be a little easier on that end. But Goff can sling it at times a little accurate. They got some playmakers back there, bro. Jeez, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's why I feel like the Lions are a better matchup against us than the Bears are because they have so many playmakers. We're going to have to get some stops, and I don't trust the Lions defense. So
like, where does X go?
We're going to have to score points.
I was going to say X on Amon-Ra, but then what do we do with TJ Hawkinson?
Eric Rowe? for the
Now
most
the
part.
tight end killer. There we go.
Yeah, Eric Rose playing more, especially with Brandon Jones unfortunately going down. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Eric Rowe does his thing against him.
Exxon Monroe.
Yeah, and then we'll adjust the other times.
There we go. That's pretty solid, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree. Lions, Bears. Let's take them. Those are wins. Oh, wow. Let's do it, EM. My guy.
We're going to Super Bowl.
We're going to the Super Bowl, man. Dude, I really want to thank you for coming up, man. Like, I was just trying to do an hour today, but I was having a good conversation with you, bro, and it's been going good, man. You want to give some final thoughts as we wrap it up for the. I'd appreciate you taking the time out of your vacation, man. That was pretty sick, bro. I'm doing like Monday to Friday now. Well, I mean, I just started on Wednesday, but I'm doing like an hour a week, an hour and a half a week, like 1:30 to 2:30, 2 to 3. So thank you for coming on, man. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's glad to be on here, and I will be on more shows because I have a little bit more time now. But yeah, I mean, thanks for having me. It was a great conversation, and we're going to win the Super Bowl. And come on, Dolphins fans, have faith. I mean, I'm not going to say everyone should be positive, but have faith that we'll win the Super Bowl.
have faith that we'll win the Super Bowl, bro. Yeah. I'll say it. Be positive, man. That's
be positive. There you go.
There we go, bro. It was a pleasure, EM, dude. I really appreciate you for coming on. Grandizer, man. Grandizer. Always don't know how to pronounce it, brother. But always thank you, man, for helping through with the stream. Really do appreciate it. It's been an awesome show, man. EM was sick. Baller was sick. Just coming on for a bit. And just hope you enjoy your vacation, boss. It's going to be a good one. Get that fishing license and just have a good time, man. This has been my trying to do an hour a week, guys. Again, like I was telling EM, I'm doing like the schedule traditionally. Okay, I'll present it once more. All right, guys. The schedule says Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1:30 to 2:30. Grandizer, dude, thank you so much. Hey, we'll talk about the schedule later. Thank you so much, bro. You are so appreciated in the chat. I thank you for helping one of the mods. Very good time, man. EM was a good time for the conversation, but you were providing the questions, giving me the info. Always very appreciated, bro. That's much love, man. We can get stops in the lines, but we have to put up points. Agreed, man. I was given a little point earlier, like if we limit the Steelers to 10, we've got to outscore them. And I want to score them by more than 6. But for teams like the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, and even looking like the Lions, we're going to have to outscore them. You have to put up points. Yes, your defense is going to limit them a bit, but they're going to score as well. So you've got to come ready to score, put some touchdowns, start hot, man. What do they call it? Fins to the head move? Fins up. Exactly, bro. Fins up, man. So thank you everyone for tuning in, though. Got the little stream schedule right there. I'm going to make it big. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1:30 to 2:30. I had a fumigator come over today, so I started a little late, and my phone is finally ready with the iOS. So hopefully next episode, tomorrow, I'll have the better camera. But what I'm saying is I started at like 1:52 today, totally random time. Should have just waited from 2 to 3, but I was jonesing to go. So as soon as this man left, I went. Okay. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to try to go 1:30 to 2:30. It's going to go phenomenal because 1:45 to 2:45 would work better for me, but that's just a really weird time to start at 1:45. Okay. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to go 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I didn't go yesterday because, hey, I was on the Miami Sports Music for 5.5 hours. Great episode. Definitely check it out. Me and Stephen D talk a lot. Great panel talk about Victory Tuesday. But it went from 10 o'clock to about 3:45 p.m. So I was exhausted. My voice was cracking. And I could not stream from 2 to 3 anyways. So I said, hey, I want to rest up. Didn't end up streaming. Sorry about that. Did post a short. Lazy cop out. Sorry about that. But Thursday, 2 to 3 p.m. That's not changing week to week. Except this week, guys, I do have to have an eye doctor and get new contacts and glasses. It'll greatly help me read the chat. Honestly, I'm running blind right now, but oof. So tomorrow I actually will be doing 1:30 to 2:30. So annoying. But guys, sorry about that. So I'll post the stream in advance right now so that tomorrow will be ready and prepared and we'll be good to go. Fins up is what they call it, baby. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in, who's watching this afterwards, whatever it may be. Greatly appreciated. Makes me feel good to get back on the streaming. I will be doing Monday to Friday. The schedule will be stuck to religiously next week. It's just that since I implemented it in the middle of this week, turns out I've got appointments and whatnot to take care of. But once I'm done with the fumigators, the eye doctors, the dentists of the world, the schedule will remain firm, unmoving, unflinching. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. As always, I give the longest outros of all time. But to everyone tuning in, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. That'd be sick. But most importantly, again, I hope you enjoyed. And a fins up. I'll see you tomorrow, 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Bangarang with the better camera. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. 1:30 to 2:30 tomorrow. Boom.